Alright, so let's talk about stored procedures. Stored procedure is a saved collection of transact SQL statements. Okay, so once you create a SQL statements, you want to use it many times. Also, once somebody creates some wonderful SQL query, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Okay, so let's think about why do we want to have stored procedures. Okay, so first, reduction of duplication of efforts. Basically, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. Some of the very complex SQL queries, it takes a time. So if somebody already did it or you did it, other people can just use that. Then that would be nice. It can save a lot of time and efforts. And also, when instead of moving the data back and forth between client and server, database server and the database client, so once you have a stored procedure located in the database server, we can just execute the procedure so that we don't have to move the data around. So it can save a lot of time. Okay, and also most people probably do not want to bother with the complexity of SQL queries. In that case, you can actually make the SQL queries actually very simple, so that end users, all they have to do is just understanding how to use the SQL queries instead of building SQL queries. Okay, so there are a lot of benefits. All right, so without further ado, let's just do it and take a look. All right, so let's create some tables for practice as usual. So we're going to create a EMP1 table and also enter data, and then create a department table and enter data. I'm sure you've been doing this many times. Alright, so let's make a copy of those data definitions and data entries. Okay, let me get a clean sheet of editor. Okay, execute it. Looks good. So let's take a look. dbo.emp1, that's what we have. Okay, see, dbo.emp1. Let me take a look. Okay, so we have a 101 all the way to 106, and also we define the department table. Okay, so 100, 200, all the way to 500. All right, not bad. Okay. All right. Okay, now let's create a query. Yeah, before creating a query, always try to make the query work first. Okay, so what I mean by that is as follows. All right, so let's take a look at the simple query. Okay, so this one now should be easily doable for you. So we just do some projection operation. Emp ID, L name, salary from emp. Okay, something like this. Yeah, no big deal. How about this? Let's create a stored procedure for that query. Okay, and to do that, all you have to do is just say create proc, and then whatever the name of that procedure, and as. So kind of similar to the view definition we did previously, right? So yeah, we'll create a proc, and then a procedure name and as. Okay, so let's do that. Also, let's look, let's take a look at how we actually execute it. Okay, and also how to do how to change the procedure definition. Okay, so let me make a copy and explain one by one. Alright, so let's create a procedure emp salary info as a emp ID L name salary from emp. Okay, so so let's create a stored procedure emp salary info, and when you execute this emp salary info, they will provide the emp ID L name and salary. Yeah, simple stuff. So let's do that. Okay, so it looks good. So as always, let's check whether the stored procedure is actually properly created. Okay, to do that, just go to programmability. Do you see that? Programmability below the tables. Open that, and one of them is one of the sub menu items, stored procedures, as you can see over here. Open that, and then let me refresh it. So now I have emp salary info. Okay, so let's take a look. Go there, right mouse button, script, create to, and a new query window. So you can actually see the how the code of actual query for the stored procedure emp salary info. Okay, so that's how you get that information. All right, so if you want to execute it, so from a consumer of this stored procedure, they don't have to know anything about it. So all they have to do is get the name of the stored procedure and say execute. Yeah, so let's do that. Yeah, just like that. So when you have a very complex query over here, all you have to do, what you have to do is create a stored procedure, and the consumers of that stored procedure, they don't have to worry about the details. All they have to do is get the name of the procedure and say execute. Yeah. All right. So if you want to change it later, if you want about the definition of the stored procedure emp salary info, all you have to do is to say alter. Yeah. So alter procedure emp salary info as, and then you have a new query. So in this case, we want to add department number. All right. So okay, so let's execute that. So it looks good. And then when I execute that, so now we have a new output emp ID L name salary and depth number. And if you want to drop it, what else? Drop proc and the stored procedure name, in this case, emp salary info. All right, so drop it. It looks good. So go back to our programmability, stored procedure. Let's refresh it. It's gone. So, all right, it's not too bad, huh? Okay, let's take a look at the stored procedures with the parameters. Okay, so let's take a look. So sometimes, we use a restriction condition like this. So give me emp ID, L name, salary, and department number. Only if a salary is at least 50,000. Yeah. Okay. So to do that, we need a restriction operation and a projection operation. Okay. So let's take a look. Let me make a copy and explain it one by one. All right, so let me, as I said, always write a query first and then make sure it is working, and then you create a stored procedure for that. Okay, so looks good. So people making more than at least 500,000, it's a 102 and 106. Okay, so now this time I want to create a more general stored procedure with a parameter. There's only one parameter, salary. So idea is in this procedure, emp salary info 2, what the users have to do is just provide the salary, okay, and then this procedure will provide emp ID, L name, salary, and department number of the employees making at least whatever the salary information users entered over here. Okay, so And also, can you see that? Add salary. So this one actually very similar to the syntax of the variable we talked about in previous lecture note about scripts, right? So basically what this one is, we are creating a defining a parameter add salary, okay? Defining a parameter add salary, okay? Add salary, that is the name of this parameter. And then we need to specify the data type, let's say money, okay? And then we say select all these columns, and then in a restriction condition, that the salary is greater than equal to whatever the value of that parameter, okay? Whatever the value of that parameter, okay? And then when you execute that, what the users have to do is they just get the name of the stored procedure and then a value of that parameter. Okay, so let's do it. Alright, so we have that. Well, as usual, let's make sure we have it. Oops. So now we have amp salary info 2, okay? Alright, so let's execute the procedure, but this time amp salary info 2 has a one parameter, so now users can enter whatever the value, okay? Oh, so the people employees are making at least 500,000 is like that. No problem. How about 400? Okay, how about 40,000? See, now we have a lot more people. So just users, all they have to do is just specify the value of the salary, and then this is stored procedure somehow generate a list of employees and making at least that amount. Okay. All right. All right, now let's look at a stored procedure with multiple parameters, okay? All right, so let's look at this stored procedure, amp salary info 3, okay? This time we want to provide amp ID, lname salary, and department number only if the salary is in the range of lower limit and upper limit, okay? So to do that, what you need to do is we need two parameters. So we have add lower limit, money, and add upper limit, money, okay? And then in a restriction condition, all you have to do is now just salary between the add lower limit and the add upper limit, okay? And then what you have to do is once you define it, you just execute with a parameter values like 100,000 and 300,000. As you can see over here, actually the position is actually very important. So whatever the order of parameters defined in the stored procedure, you have to actually follow them like this: 100,000, comma 300,000. If you don't like that, what you have to do is you can actually specify the name of the parameter and then provide a value like execute amp salary info 3 and parameter at lower limit is equal to 100,000 and at upper limit is 300,000. Okay, so let's take a look. Alright, so let's create a procedure. Okay, so as usual, let's check. dbo.amp salary info 3. Okay, looks good. So let's do that. And now let's execute amp salary info 3. Lower limit 100,000, upper limit 300,000. Okay. So position is actually very important, as I just said. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if you somehow switch the values, and then execute it, see there's no value because no tuples or no rows satisfy this condition. Okay, so position is very important. And if you hate it, what you have to do is you can actually specify the parameter name and specify the value like this. Okay, so if you do that, you have the value. So in this case though, if you change the position of the parameter values like this, okay, so this time we specify the upper limit first and the lower limit later, and let's see how it goes. Well, as you can see here, this time this one working just fine because you actually show the name of the parameters like this. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go back to our lecture note. This one we have a department information. So basically the same thing. You have one parameter, department number at department number, and then you can execute it. And if you want to see the actual code, then you can use a system provided stored procedure. The SP, okay, that stands for the stored procedure created by the system. I mean the Microsoft SQL Server. So let's take a look. So here we have emp salary info 3. So as you can see here, you can see the definition there. All right. Another way is as I just showed you like 10 minutes ago, you can just go there. Okay, and then script, create two, new query window. You can actually see that too. So either way, so totally up to you. And the rest of them basically just another examples. Why don't you take a look? This one is using join operation. So for people who may not understand the complexities of a join operation, you can actually create a stored procedure like this, and then let them know what's the name of that stored procedure and how to use the parameters, and then all they have to do is just execute that procedure without knowing anything about join operation. So it can be pretty convenient. Also, you can have many parameters. So you can have EID, lower limit, upper limit, and so on. Okay, so and then you can execute it using the position, or you can also specify the name of the parameters. All right. I think that's the end of a stored procedure. Have fun.